All right, so that was the end of part one of our SQL sequence. So by this time, you should be at least a little familiar with the SQL statements. I would expect for if you read any of the SQL statements that you would be able to understand and interpret them. And so that what does that mean? That means that if you saw a statement that said select column one, column two from table one with a condition of something between something, something, that you'd be able to understand what table that came from, which columns they were calling up to print, what they were doing with all the conditions, etc. The homework assignment that you have coming from this will be basically 10 different like requests of calling up different little subsets of data. And so you need to figure out what are the SQL statements required for you to be able to do this. So I expect that you would use the database, the school database, to actually figure this out. So like you can technically do this by hand, but like I would expect that you would go into Access, try it out, experiment, figure it out, and then take the statement that is what you came up with and drop it back into the Word doc. So what you're turning into me is actually a Microsoft Word doc and not a database. Okay. And then we also have the section 4 of the discussion due the same week. So not the class coming up, but yeah, at the same time as the SQL homework. And that class will also be doing we're combining the sections 3 and 4 for our discussion as class decided. So there we go. By the time, so you'll have this week, and then you'll have one more week of SQL, and then after that you will have a test on the SQL stuff. And at that point, I expect you to be able to basically write this stuff by hand without using a database as a crutch. So that's the level that you're going to be expected to know the SQL, because if you are in a job interview situation and this like the job expects you to know how to do SQL, you will be expected to be able to like freehand like get on a whiteboard and write out some basic statements. So that's what we're aiming for. All right, let's get to it.